Sure. So after that vote was taken, the day after that vote was taken by City Council, I released a statement which basically outlined the reasons why I would have voted no. And those reasons relate to the sustainability of that project. It is lacking in some things that I think would serve a greater amount of people with a greater amount of good. One of the things that I've been critical of is our lack of vertical setbacks and things that could provide terracing to allow sunlight to come in, to prevent wind tunnel effect with large buildings, and to provide space for urban gardens, solar panels, rainwater reuse, and things that make a building truly sustainable, and something that the community can be proud of as an example of our environmental stewardship. I think that it's important for people to keep in mind that that project has not ended, although that process has not ended, although it's been used as political fodder to say, well, this council voted this way, they voted that way. It's important for people to know that they can still be involved in the design review board and other areas in which we can shape that project. In terms of the DDA, I would encourage them to start looking at ways in which we can get around the downtown area, minimizing the amount of single occupant car use. And that will minimize the amount of additional spaces that we need. And there are examples of that we can talk about at another time.
Thank you, Mr. Magiera. Mr. Eaton, same questions to you. How did you vote on the library lot sale and why? And what advice would you give to the DDA in cost effectively and equitably managing the city's parking system?
I voted against the sale of this property to this particular developer. There were many concerns raised by residents throughout town, but of greatest importance to me was that downtown residents and downtown merchants came to the City Council and told us that dedicating 361 parking spaces in our parking system that's already at capacity would have an impact on their businesses and their livelihoods. And I believe that we have to take seriously the advice that we get from people who are already operating successful businesses in our town. We shouldn't load an impact on them that favors a new business. We have agreed to sell this property. What remains is the site plan process. There's very little discretion in what we can accomplish in site plan approval with regard to rooftop gardens and solar panels and such. We may have been able to put that into a sales agreement, but once the property is sold, it's just simply subject to the planning process that we have, and it's not very demanding. With regard to the DDA and parking, I'm not going to advise them on how to manage their system, but I would note that we raised the issue that dedicating that amount of parking would require very expensive construction, and that will probably be funded with increased parking fees and lengthened parking enforcement hours.
Thank you, Mr.